We are here in Columbia, Maryland with our friend, the Markotron. How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
So, you've been in this place for how long now? About a year?
Not quite. 11 months.
11 months.
In September.
And how do you like this area and this apartment?
Well, the apartment's nice. I mean, it's just big enough for my purposes. On the first floor, too, easy to move in. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to know that?
Yes, because I helped you move in.
Right. As for Columbia itself, well, it's an interesting place. I mean, you probably haven't seen very many examples of this driving through here, but the names of the streets are unique to this area. There isn't another street called Little Patuxent Parkway in the entire state. Whoever, the guy who built this community was the same fellow who built the Liberty Place in Philadelphia. He was very opinionated on how he wanted his town to look. And if you drive around here, you'll notice a pattern to the architecture. And a few things that don't really make sense. For example, gas station signs. They're usually very high. But here they're not, because no sign can be above a certain height.
Interesting. So Columbia was a planned community.
Like Reston, Virginia.
Very interesting. Well, we'll have to take a look around here sometime.
Yeah, true.
So you got that thing there.
Well, this is a Swiffer mop. It's used, or Swiffer mop head actually. It's used for a lot of things, but look real closely at it. You see that stuff on it? That was all made by spiders. There are so many of them in here before you showed up. I managed to hide them off though, all of them.
Were any of them
all done using the vacuum cleaner. This is a deadly weapon. They appear everywhere. I use my spider web detector, otherwise known as laser pointer, to figure out where they're hiding.
Were any of them large and mutant?
They certainly look that way. Not all of them, though.
Well, you were victorious in the end, right? That's a good thing.
Oh, indeed. CPST's about ready now. I need to pull the jug the rest of the way. You gotta dilute it somewhat, or else it'll end up tasting really bitter. Because iced tea is brewed to be extremely strong. I don't want any residue at the end either. Next step is to put it in the fridge for a while. Not sure how long that is exactly, but half an hour, something like that.
Pretty cool. So you recently went on a road trip, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Yes, where did you go?
3 places. It was a 3-point trip. First was Pittsburgh. Second, Cleveland. And third, Spruce Knob, West Virginia. For those of you who do not know, that is the highest point in West Virginia. And then I came back here.
That's pretty cool. How much time did you spend in each of those places?
Spent a day in each place.
What kind of sights did you see?
Well, depends on the city. I mean, in the cities I took sort of a walking tour of them, but there were things that stuck out too. I mean, Pittsburgh has a method of transportation called an incline or funicular or something else, I'm not sure. But they don't have very many of those, especially now on the East Coast. And the one I took was like one of the oldest ones. It dates back to the 1870s.
Oh, wow. You took a video of that, right?
Yeah, I took a video. Okay,
cool. I'll put a link to that on this video.
All right. Then in Cleveland, I saw the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, I've been there. How was that?
Really?
Yeah, 3 years ago.
No, they just inducted Genesis into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I heard about that. So what do you think about that place?
Well, I liked it. I mean, it was a very strange building, though. I mean,
very unique architecture, right?
And there's like a thing that looks like a couple of cylinders connected to it. There's a thing in the back that seems to hold you all up.
And did you tour all the memorabilia? Did they have any special exhibits? Because when I was there, they had an exhibit for Jim Morrison at the Doors.
They had a thing for Les Paul. They had a thing for Bruce Springsteen. That was up in the cylinder section.
Oh, wow. That's where the Jim Morrison thing was when I went there. I would have loved to see the Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
Yeah. You know how I'm a big Bruce fan.
Well, I got a couple of his songs on my playlist, but they're not exactly the kind that you'd associate with him. I'm on Fire, for example.
Yes. Very good songs. And so you saw all that. What else did you do in Cleveland?
Well, there wasn't that much there, but I toured the city essentially. Tried to find my way from I forget what the station is called, but I took the subway there, and I ended up taking a walking tour of the place, filmed some of the sites on Lake Erie. For example, there's this ship called the Good Time 3. They take tours. I didn't go on, but figured it would be a good thing to take a picture of. And the Great Lakes Science Center, a building that's powered by wind turbines and solar cells.
Oh, wow.
Actually, only one wind turbine, but you should see the solar cell array.
Never heard of that place.
It's right next door to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, pretty cool.
And next door to that is Brown Stadium.
Yeah. When I was in Cleveland, I saw Genesis at the, forget what arena it was, or what stadium. It was an indoor arena, I forget what it was called.
Was it at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? They do have performances there.
No, it was a much bigger arena. It was like where the basketball team plays, I think.
Quicken Loans.
That's right, yes, Quicken Loans Arena.
Yeah, I passed by there.
And so, this town of West Virginia, what was it called again?
It's not, it's a really small town, Spruce Knob.
What part of West Virginia is it in?
Rather than town. It's actually pretty close to Maryland.
Close in the eastern part of the state.
Yeah. It's like right by Virginia. If you were to take West Virginia Route 55, you'd cross into Virginia.
I see. Now, so you said this was the highest point in West Virginia.
The highest point in West Virginia.
Did you hike to the top of the highest point?
Actually, no. I drove to the top of the highest point and hiked on said top of the highest point.
What was the view like from up there?
Oh, terrific.
That's pretty cool. Is it really a rural area? Yeah. Not much, and that's where you got your rocks, right?
Well, no, I got them at Seneca Caverns.
Oh, okay, I see.
That's by there, but not there.
Alright, I see. And so this was the first time you've been to any of those places, this trip?
Right. And in the case of Cleveland and West Virginia, it's the first time I've been to Ohio or West Virginia.
That's pretty cool. So you can add those states to your list of places you visited.
Right.
Well, it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, indeed. Went to the Seneca Caverns, and they have this thing where you buy a bag of well, it looks like dirt, but it's actually it's dirt with a bunch of gemstones thrown in. Different kinds too. I mean, you can sort of specify what kinds you get. There's even one with arrowheads, but that's kind of con. I mean, the idea is to get the experience of panning for something, but I figured I'd use the opportunity to add to my rock collection. Problem is, I don't have the guide that came with this thing, so I can't really identify everything. But all of these rocks are in their natural crystal formations. That's something you don't find very often. Because people like tumbling these rocks, but I don't. Call me a snob, go ahead, but I don't. It's a level thing.